Okay, here we go. I am going to attempt to do some Catwoman makeup today. And I was thinking about doing this video live, but due to the fact that it is nap time for my kids, I may have to interrupt this video to take care of them if something goes wrong. So I am just going to go ahead and record this. It is our day of our church trunk or treat, and I am going for a Catwoman slash Batman look for my, well, my costume is like Catwoman slash Batman because it's mixed costume pieces for my maternity body, but my makeup is going to be Catwoman. So what I'm going to go for is, end look is going to look hopefully like this. Hopefully, we'll find out. I've never done anything like this in my life, so highly possible it will look nothing like this. But what I'm going to try and do is follow this little tutorial here, but to be totally honest, I'm going to start down here with the eyes only. And then I'm going to add the mask. I'm going to add the mask later. So what I'm going to do is just try and get this cool eye look going just in case I give up and I don't want to do the black mask all around my face. I will at least have super cat eye eyes, and I've never done anything this bold on my eyes before. So all that said, I've got my tablet here with my instructions of how to do that. And I'm going to be staring at my reflection in my phone here and not at the camera. So if I'm staring at my camera, you feel like I'm looking at you, but if I'm staring like this, you know I'm looking at myself. I've got my baby monitor so I can hopefully keep an eye on these kiddos that have not fallen asleep yet and hopefully will before the end of this video. So all that said, let's go ahead and jump into this. I am going to use colors that looks like are similar to this picture are Snow, which is going to go right under my eyebrow. Onyx, which I'm going to use. Oh, by the way, you can see I actually already have some eyeliner on this morning, but I did not put any color on my eyelids because I knew I was going to be doing this later. Since the cat eye look includes black that goes along the eyelid, I'm not going to take any of my mascara or eyeliner off. I'm just going to leave it as is, but I'm going to go ahead and fill in with Onyx on the base and kind of wing up with it. And I'm also going to use Onyx on my brow because you really need some heavy dark brows in those pictures. And then between the two of the Snow on the top for contrast from the brows and the black or Onyx on the bottom, I'm going to use Copper Rose Shimmer and maybe some Garnet to kind of like do an ombre effect. But we'll see how bold we're feeling. So let's see. I think the best way to start here is probably going to be to start with my brows. And since I need dark brows, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Onyx here and this little brush, which is like a tiny little smudge brush. I'm just using brushes today mostly. I use a combination of e.l.f. and I dab it on the top here and then I just take it off here. I use e.l.f. and Eco Tools. Let me make sure this is focused here. And I normally use Garnet on my eyebrows, or I actually use our other product called ShadowSense, and I use that. Let me see if I've got it right here. I use ShadowSense on my eyes. It's really cool, but it's not dark enough for today. I'll show you what this is. It's really neat. It is like a little, kind of like an eyeliner, like a liquid eyeliner, and then you just do hair-like brush strokes in your eyebrow, and then after you do those hair-like brush strokes, you come back with this really cool brow wand and shape it. So it's really pretty, but I love ShadowSense, and I use that in like this kind of brownish, reddish color. Looks very natural. And then I use Garnet if I'm not wanting to go to the effort of filling in brows and making them look perfect. But this is Onyx. And that's my daughter you hear crying on the little baby monitor. I might have to go super dark here. In fact, what I probably should do is outline my brows with like a liner pencil or something. Oh, that's so dark. Oh my gosh. Am I looking Catwoman enough? I guess her eyebrows were kind of like up and then over. Maybe we should line those so it looks like that. Let's try. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to take my little eyeliner brush here. This is an e.l.f. brush. I'm going to get some of the black off my Onyx. And let's see, I'm going to go up, over, and down. Oops, doesn't really connect super great there. up and connect there. Woo! That is really dark. Oh, my daughter's so sad. I might have to pause this video. Okay, well, let's make this not look hideous. This is seriously so out of my comfort zone. I would never, ever, ever do bold black brows like this. But, you know, I guess it kind of is a trend right now, isn't it? Why? I don't know. Kind of blend that a little down to the bottom. Okay. Can you tell a difference between these two eyebrows? I think so. Okay. So let me go ahead and do my left brow now. Did I use this brush? I think this was the one I used. Sure, there's still a little black on there, so I have to hold my brow still. We're going to go up and over, up and connect. And then when we fill in, hopefully that looks a little less stupid. Okay, let's see how this goes. Just kind of filling in. I feel like because I'm using my mirror on my camera, I'm not doing as good as I might otherwise do. I'd like to give myself that excuse because you can see I missed some of my eyebrows up here, which I'm just realizing. So I'm going to go ahead and try and fill that. Let me see. Actually, I guess you can't really tell in my mirror when I look up there, so maybe I'll just kind of feather it in a little bit and go above my brow a little bit. I'll have to come back with my Oops remover to touch that up. And I probably should go check on my child. So I'm going to pause this video, come back, and resume with my eyes, but not before I take this, use my Oops remover. This is why I love Synergence products, because you can use, this is my jam-packed everyday color wheel in here that I use. Like, these are the colors I can't live without. It's always hard to get something out. Okay, so here's my Oops remover. You can tell I probably should open a new one since this is like red from all the color I use. Just use that. Clears that little spot up right away. Okay, so these are my Catwoman eyebrows. Pretty sultry so far, right? Okay, so let me go take care of my kids. I will come back and resume this video in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So let's go ahead and continue blending this crazy line right here because I'm realizing I did not do a very good job of that. So I'm using my little smudge brush to make that look a little less obvious that it's not natural, because this looks so natural, right? We'll do the same thing over here. Kind of blend that in. Okay, so there's our brows. Now let's go back to this picture over here and let's see what our next step is. Okay, so brows, bold and done. I'd say mine look, I mean, my natural curvature isn't quite like that, but they're just as dark. So the next thing to do, I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, the white under the brow. Okay, let's try this. So there's a couple ways you can apply your ShadowSense to your eyelids or to right under your brow. You can apply it directly with the wand, or you can use a brush. So why don't I go ahead and just use, I'll use this brush here. I'll use this angled brush. Oh, hold on, let me decline this call. Just a second. I'll call you back later, friend. Okay. This is snow. This is going to provide that contrast right under the brow. And you can see I even touched the brow a little bit, but maybe we can come back and clean that up. Okay, so that's a lot of contrast right there. And it looked like, if I remember correctly, there was some white inside the lids too, to add a little bit more of that cat eye look. So we'll just go ahead and do this in here. Kind of feather it up a little bit. Okay. That is so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and move that around with this full coverage brush. Just drag it down. And I actually think what I'm going to do too is I'm going to do a second layer of it so it's even bolder. But with ShadowSense, it's kind of like LipSense. You want to wait between layers to give it time to settle, to dry. So just give it a few, I'll give it a minute. Maybe what I'll do in the meantime is go ahead and start on the black down here. Because what I'm going to do is white, black, or snow and onyx, and then copper rose shimmer in the middle. So I can even add that white at any time later. So let's go ahead and move on to onyx on the base, and let me look at how they did this over here, and we'll see if we can replicate it. So it looks like you can see we just did that white look right under the brow. Now the black is going to be kind of a winged look coming from the inside corner of the eyelid. In the bottom, you can see it right here. Inside corner of the eyelid, outside, and oops, that would be a picture of my grandmother before she passed away. That was really kind of sad. Anyway, so it's going to wing out on the outside. So let's go ahead and take this liner brush and see if we can accomplish that. Get my onyx on my brush. We're going to start on the inside right here. I'm going over my current eyeliner, and I'm going to drag this up from the outside corner of my eyelid. Let's go up pretty far. Make it really dramatic. Okay, so that's the start of a cat eye. And what I did there is I just pretended that this bottom eyelid extended, and that's the line you follow. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to just meet that wing from about the middle of my pupil right here. I'm just going to like drag it to meet it, you see? And it's okay if you color, if it goes down a little bit, you can come back with that oops remover and touch it up. So if you're like lines fishtail where they cross like right there, which mine almost did, but I saved it at the last second. Okay, so that's the start of a cat eye. And then what we're going to do from here is do more black or more of the onyx and then kind of brush it up. So I'm going to let that dry for a sec and we're going to use this smudge brush as well to use this onyx and kind of, I don't want to mess up the cat eye look too much, so I'm kind of afraid to do this while it's still a little damp here, but I'm just going to kind of lightly come in here. Actually, before I do that, let me look at how they did it. It's always a good way to go. Okay, so it looks like it's just shaded. And in fact, I think I need to go heavier with my eyeliner because you can see in this picture, it looks like that full black is like if my eyes were open and I'm staring at the camera, that black comes almost clear up to your crease right here. So I clearly need to do that line a little thicker. This is going to be some super thick makeup. I'm going to drag that up even more. And then I'm going to come back with that oops remover to clean that second line because I really want this to wing up. So there's a lot of black, and now let's do that smudge look. My poor daughter is so mad at me in the other room. The trick with ShadowSense when you're normally applying it, which by the way, ShadowSense is smudge proof, crease proof, wonderful shadow that lasts all day. And I I can't recall, honestly, if it's water resistant or waterproof. I know that when I go to a water park, it doesn't come off, but I'm also not rubbing my eyes the whole time. That's the difference between water resistant, which is if you rub it, it would come off in water, whereas waterproof, like even if you're like cranking on your eyes, it's going to stay put. But it's one of the two, which is awesome. So just don't rub your eyes in when it's raining or you're at a water park and you'll be fine. Let's drag this over to the outside edge over here. But anyway, when you're using ShadowSense, just blend the crud out of it. Just keep going, because the more you blend it, the thinner the layers are. And you can come back and add more layers if you want it to be a bolder color or have more shimmer if you're using one of the shimmer colors. But it's just really fun. Okay, so let's try and keep that winged look. Come off that winged look. A little bit of an angle here. Wow, that's really, really heavy. And then we're going to come with that oops remover and touch up that outside edge real quick. And then if I was a makeup artist, I would use a Q-tip or something, but since it's just myself, and I'm not doing this on somebody else, I'm gonna use my finger to like wipe that oops remover off. Okay, so that's pretty good. So let me just blend this Onyx back in a little bit more. Or I could just add more Onyx and make it even darker. Whew. Okay, that is most of it I done. Now I'm going to add the Copper Rose Shimmer in the middle here. So what I'm going to do with that is, let's see, I'm going to use this brush. I'm just going to apply it from, and ShadowSense is $22 a tube, by the way. I love me some Copper Rose Shimmer. I might want to come back and kind of, well, I'll just keep doing this effect. This is called the windshield wiper. Just go like this, back and forth, keep moving it around. And might even just drag it down a little bit into that black. And then I think what I need to do, okay, in my mirror that looks really good, but I also really need to, where's a good brush to blend all this together? I think I'm just going to use this same smudger brush that I used earlier to apply the black, to kind of give that, oh, I might have taken that black up too close to the snow, which is good. Remember, we wanted to do more snow on the top anyway. I'm just going to do a couple of dots like that, and then I'm going to fill it in or blend it with this brush that I used with the snow earlier. And that'll continue to give that nice contrast. And then use my end of the Copper Rose application to blend that together. As you can see, like, I'm using a variety of brushes, reusing them. I'm sure if I was to clean them in between steps and have more than this amount of brushes, it would look even better. But I'm feeling pretty confident that that looks like a good cat eye. I do think one thing I should do is drag that down a little bit more on the bottom. And also, I think on this picture, they did something to the bottom lid. So let's look at that. So, her eye, my eye, and my natural lighting. Let me see if I can fix my lighting so it looks a little closer, because in my mirror it looks almost on point. Let's look over here. Back to Grandma's. Hold on. Okay, I see how they did it. So it's actually, I need to do black kind of towards the inside right here. So let's use my smudger brush to get that black coming up from the inside. And then I'm also going to use my liner brush here after I check on my daughter. It's scanning between, so I'll look again in a second. Between my two kids. She's almost asleep. I'm going to use my liner brush with my Onyx to do my bottom liner. And it looks like, okay, this is good. It connects from here, kind of where my current eyeliner is on the bottom already. And it's going to come in like this, but then I'm going to drop it down so it looks like a cat eye. If I can get my skin to work with me. I'm not sure about that. Let me try and connect it right here. Maybe that'll make it look better. That's an attractive face. Definitely looks like a cat though. And then I'm going to kind of clean this up over here too. By clean it up, I mean sharpen it by making that line a little bolder. Come back and use my oops remover one more time where I screwed that up. And then I'm going to fill in that one spot right here with a little bit of snow between my two lines. Okay. Oh, just grab my snow wand instead of the container. Okay, so that is one eye done to look like Catwoman. I really think it's pretty on point. I could add a little more Copper Rose shimmer if I wanted, but it looks really good in my mirror, so I'm actually not going to mess with it. But I'm quite happy with this. Okay, so I'll do the next eye, and that'll take me another 21 minutes and 41 seconds. And I won't video that, but there's half of our cat eye look. Let's compare. Right here. And right there. Pretty close for being an amateur. All right, thanks y'all. Bye-bye.